Hello, YouTube. All right. If you live in America, then you're probably feeling the gas crunch, the price of gasoline going up. Actually, I don't think it's limited to America. I think it's worldwide because of the situation, the war going on in the Ukraine right now. It's a sad situation all around for the Ukrainians and the Russian people. It's kind of a scary situation for the world, actually. But I would say this: if you haven't made peace with God and all the people in your life, now is a good time to do it. Well, you still have time. I'm not saying that this is the end of the world or anything like that, but I think we're near the end with everything that's been happening. But anyhow, today's video isn't about that. Doom and is it doom and gloom? Yeah, not about doom and gloom, but about surviving the current situation. Gasoline in Florida, where I am right now, is roughly $4 a gallon. I think it's more than $5 a gallon in California, from what I understand. So travel is now at least twice as expensive as it was just like last week, 2 weeks ago. So as I'm driving here, I don't really see, I'm going to show you guys the view here. There's not too many cars, so I'm going to let you guys look at the view of what I'm seeing. And there's hardly any cars on the road, but it could just be because it's Sunday morning. But I think people are traveling less. That's, I guess, obviously one strategy is to travel less. So the other strategy would be to potentially shift to using public transportation. I don't know if, I don't know for sure. I don't know if they've raised the price of bus tickets and stuff like that. So it may be worthwhile to switch into commuting, you know, using public transportation if you want to save on gas, because the prices are going sky high and may go even higher. It's like overnight in Florida, where I am, it rose within one day like 40 cents, 30 or 40 cents in one day. And then the next day it rose another 30 or 40 cents. And next day another 30 or 40. It's like going up, you know, the maximum that they capped it, that they allow it to go up. In the past, when there was an emergency or something in Florida, like a hurricane coming, the gas companies would hike the price of the gasoline up so high, it was like doubling or tripling in one day, you know. So I guess they passed legislation that limits how much they can go up, but they're pushing it up very fast. So my advice is right now, if you do have a vehicle and plan on driving it, get gas whenever you need, I mean, whenever you have a chance, not even when you're low, because the price is going to keep going up. So, not saying to stockpile, because I think stockpiling is kind of crazy. You know, it's just going to make a gas shortage occur, and you're still going to need the gas. Right here, I just went by the sign and it says $3.89. That seems to be about the lowest prices around here. $3.89 for gas right now. Most of them are between $3.89 to $4, $3.99, whatever, where I am. Not sure about the status of all the other states, but I still think the United States probably has the lowest prices. Here's a lower one, $3.82. I don't know, maybe the price is going down. Yesterday I got gas at Walmart, which is one of the cheapest, and it was $3.89 at the Walmart. So $3.82 right here is the lowest price I've seen. But yeah, I think the strategy will be to get gas whenever you get a chance, just to make sure you have it, so you're not stuck with being somewhere where you have to pay $4 plus or whatever, you know, the highest price. So when you see low gas, get it. Keep your car stocked. But try not to drive too much. I think the other thing is, well, somebody's got an electric car. You're lucky. But I don't know if they jacked the price of electricity up or not. That's the other issue. A lot of places, they're jacking up energy prices all around. So if you're in an electric vehicle, it might be going up, but maybe slower than gas. So if you've got an electric vehicle, kudos to you. You're kind of in a good situation. If you have a hybrid vehicle, you're still okay, because it's this little car, which has like about 9 gallons, the capacity for 9 gallons, at $4. Well, 4 times 9 is what? 18, 27, 36, $36 to fill up this car. Used to be, I remember when I had a Honda Civic and it cost me $8 to fill it up with gas. That thing had like 11 gallons. It cost me like $8 or $9 to fill up a Honda Civic back in the day. And this car used to cost about $20 to fill up, or less, $18 to $20. Now it's like almost $40 to fill up this tiny little car. And sadly, I don't think it gets the gas mileage it's supposed to get. I think this car is supposed to get like 32 or 34, but it's getting more like 22, 24, so there's something wrong with it. But still, when I look at these trucks, they only get like 12 to 14, 16 miles per gallon or less, So I can imagine pulling up into a gas station with a truck and having to pay $150 for gas. That's ridiculous. So we are going through the city, and you can see it's not too many people out, but it could be just because it's morning. But I think it has something to do with the gas being so high, so people are limiting their travel. Trips you make to save money, you should plan your trip so you're going to do multiple stops, en route. Like today, I'm going to head to my destination, but I'm also probably going to stop by Thrifty, which you saw me go to the other day, to stockpile meat, which, by the way, I ate a lot. I've been working hard on the house, on the interior of the house, as well as the back building. So, been really hungry. So, ate a bunch of steak and stuff. But anyhow, I'm going to try to stop by Thrifty today on my way back home to pick up some more meat to restock the meat that we ate. That'll save a potential trip later, So I want to keep everything as stocked as possible. As far as what I can tell in America, it hasn't affected people too much, other than, at least in Florida, other than I did see a few gas stations that were out of gas. So people are kind of panic buying. I don't really recommend that. Some people are like stockpiling a bunch of gasoline, which I guess is a normal reaction, But honestly, if you try to stockpile gasoline, how long is it really going to last you? And what are you stockpiling for? I don't understand. Let's say you stockpile, your car takes 10 gallons, and you stockpile 100 gallons, okay? Which to me is crazy to stockpile that much gas. It's more of a fire danger than you're saving money or whatever. But you stockpile 100 gallons, well, that's going to get you 10 times further. But where are you going? I don't know. I don't know the reasoning for stockpiling. Now, the reason I suggest always trying to keep your gas tank full is in case you need it for something, to go somewhere or whatever, and gas isn't available. But if gas ends up being out, if there's a shortage, then my solution would be don't go anywhere, including work. And you're like, how can you not go to work? If there's no gas, I can't get to work. The other issue with jobs is this, how they've been kind of raising the wages. Well, gas has gone up almost double in 2 weeks. So if you're not paying some kind of additional fee, which I don't know, I'm going to see how my company responds. I'm not talking to them about it, but I'm just watching their behavior. When COVID hit, my company, they gave us extra money. COVID hit, and what they did was they just did an emergency thing and said, here is emergency money to help you through this trying time. And they gave everybody like $1,000 or more. out of the blue, gave everybody, nobody asked for it, but they gave it to us because they knew the cost of everything had gone up. Then when the situation with inflation kind of went a little bit crazy here in America over the last year, they pulled me aside and other people aside and said they were giving us a pay raise, not as a regular annual pay raise, but a pay raise to deal with the inflation because it went up higher than expected. And then later on, I had my meeting with them, and they gave me another pay raise, my regular pay raise, my merit pay raise is what they call it. But I had my hours cut. So I'm like making less now because I'm not working full time. Although I did ask them, I requested for full time, for the benefits. So I'm on full-time benefits, but working part-time. I was able to negotiate that. So they said they like me and they don't want to lose me. So that kind of hurts a little bit with prices going so high. I could request to work more hours, which they would accommodate, I'm pretty sure. But I don't want to because I'm working on the house. And also I'm trying to work on making even more money, with my software development once I get the house done and my office and stuff set up. So it's kind of a trade-off. But in the meantime, because income has been cut and the prices have gone up, I've got to cut my expenditures, So that means less eating out, although I'm getting ready to go eat out here shortly with my kid. I'm going to go pick him up. So we'll probably go to eat out. Probably won't do stuff that's too expensive, and if we go anywhere, it's probably somewhere along the travel route. I'm not going to go out of the way because you try not to expend more gas than necessary. Picking up my kid is expensive. I was just freaking out at the $4 a gallon for where we live at the time when I lived in South Florida and I had to pick up my child. I had to pay, I would try to get gassed up, when I was here in this area because the gas at the time was like $1.27. And I thought that was high, $1.27. And in South Florida, it was like $1.57. Now those prices seem really cheap by today's standards. But I used to drive to pick up my kid and, I had to come up, I had to travel roughly 350 miles each way. So I drove 700 miles over the weekend to get my kid and return him, like in 2 days. I would get him on Friday and return him on Sunday. So 700 miles, and I was paying roughly, I think each month I was paying about $400 to $600, maybe even more, just in gas to get my kid. I couldn't even do it now because I don't even earn enough to cover the gas. If I had to make that same haul right now, I wouldn't be able to do it. Which is messed up. So I'm sure, gas is affecting people in a lot of different ways. Like I said, I think the main thing is not to travel unless you have to, but the other thing is plan your trip so you're not going to one place, one trip, If you're going to the dentist or whatever, or a doctor's appointment, pick up food along the way. Pick up toilet paper. Pick up whatever. That way you're not having to make an extra trip. And I think that's just kind of common sense, but, it's a way to even out the gas expense. The other thing is, like work. I don't know. Work says they want you in, but if they're not even paying enough to cover gas, it becomes not really worth it. So I'm looking at how high gas has gone up to see how my company behaves. If they behave like they did with COVID, I kind of suspect they should give us additional money to cover gas. That's assuming the gas doesn't run out. Because I pulled up to the Walmart gas station, and I think diesel was out. Regular gas is still there. But if people start panic buying, it could run out, But I say if it runs out, I can't get to work, And if work wants me to go to work, they got to figure something out. So I'm not too worried about it right now, and I wouldn't even be if it were the situation. You just deal with it one day at a time. I think that's the key. The other thing is energy dependence. If you've been following me, then I bought the mobile home and I've been trying to get it off grid as much as possible. So I've somewhat succeeded, kind of, already, even though I haven't upgraded my, I haven't really upgraded the power systems, the solar or the water systems. But my water bill is now roughly between $20 to $25 a month. Remember, it used to be like $65 to $85. I got it down to like $20 to $25 a month. I think the minimum they charge is like $21 just to have the service hooked up or whatever. But yeah, I got it down to like 20. I was kind of surprised. I was like, it went down really low. So got it down to 2025. If I can maintain that, that would be good. Electric bill did go up a little bit because I've been running more electrical appliances, and I expect it may go up a little bit more with the refrigerator that we just put in. So I'm trying to cut back by turning off certain items, like the RV refrigerator is now shut down because I don't need it. I'll keep the food in the house. The refrigerator in the house holds a lot more, so that will save. Because the RV refrigerator, I had rigged it up to run off 120 volts. So it's running 120 volts. That shutdown should save a little bit. I have a little refrigerator in my room. I may keep it, or I might shut it off. The reason I have that in the room is that was before I had the main refrigerator. But keeping it in the room, I might still keep cold water in there. So whenever I want water. So I'm thinking electric bill right now. The last bill I think was like $86. That was with me trying to cut it down. I'm like, well, at least we're still under 100. I know people who have electric bills that are like $200-$300. I'm willing to bet most of that is air conditioning or heating. I haven't really been running the window air conditioning units. I run it every once in a while when it feels really hot. I just run it and let the room cool down, and then I shut it off. Been running the fans, ceiling fans in my bedroom as well as the living room. Not all the time, just when I need air circulation, and opening the windows to get cross ventilation. So I think right now would be a good time to reassess what you really need to drive to. I need to drive to pick up my kids, so I can't, that's an expenditure I have to pay, because otherwise I don't see my kid. So, that'll be put into my budget. But as far as anything else, I haven't been able to go to the parks as much as I like, because that costs money now. It's not a cheap trip. Before, I could ride to the beach, and it might cost me like $2, to go to the beach. Now it's like $5, which might not sound like a lot, but I used to go like almost every day. So now I haven't really gone, but when I get my kid, we might go, because it's en route. So trying to plan trips, including recreational, to tie in with other trips, so that you're not just spending on one item. You're not spending on one trip. You're spending on multiple, doing it all at once. Like grocery shopping, you might want to go to the, like I'm going to go to Goodwill possibly. Goodwill and stuff. I'll probably hit the grocery store last, so I can get cold items and rush home, afterwards. What else? Oh, food expenditures. That's a big savings. I was eating the other night with my wife, and we had like, I know this is kind of bad, but we had like, what was that stuff? Ribeye steak, like 1-inch thick ribeye. And I had bought it from Thrifty for like, I think it was like $12 or $13 for the 2 steaks, which is kind of expensive, But I know people who pay much more than that, especially if you go out to eat. If you ordered ribeye steak in a restaurant, it's probably $25, $30 a plate. So you're looking at $50 to $60 for the ribeye meal. And my wife and I had it for less than $15. So that's a huge savings. So if you eat out, you could probably save a lot of money eating in. Including eating out. When I say like eating out, I don't mean just fancy restaurants. I mean even at like McDonald's. Like the other day, I went to McDonald's a couple weeks ago, and I got it wasn't McDonald's, Burger King. I got like a Whopper meal, I think, and it was like $12. I was like, what the heck? $12 for one meal at Burger King. $12, that's the price of my my ribeye steak for two people. So put that into perspective, and maybe you'll start eating in more. For what you eat at McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or any of these fast food places, okay, you could be eating ribeye steak. So get off that grill. One of the biggest, I think, I don't know how much energy it uses, but I think one of the biggest time savers, possibly energy savers, is the toaster oven with convection. I cook the steaks in that thing. Normally we cook outside, and we use wood, so we don't use any real fuel. We use wood from the tree we've been cutting down around the house, around the yard. So it's all free fuel. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to set up the grill, So we've been using the toaster oven. You just turn that thing on, put the food in. About 30 minutes later, it's totally cooked, and it tastes great. So toaster oven may be a good investment. I think it's cheaper. It's probably cheaper to run a toaster oven than a full-size conventional oven, And the other thing I've been using is the heater burner thingies, the little tiny ones, but I haven't used that much. Mostly when I cook, I use a toaster oven. I even cooked some breakfast sausages using the toaster oven. So, it's kind of interesting. You gotta cut over here. But yeah, I think that's the strategy is to cut your expenditures, because you're going to have to pay more on gas. So you can try to spend less gas, use less gas, but you're still going to need it. But because the price is almost doubled, you're going to have to cut other things. And other things that you can really cut are probably eating out. So eating in will save you a lot of money. The other thing is eating stuff like, rice. Rice is really still relatively cheap. I think I can pick up from Walmart. I can pick up like I think it's a 10 or 20 pound bag. Maybe it was a 20 pound bag for like $9. And a 20 pound bag will last me probably a month or more. So it's like $10 to eat for a month. That's pretty cheap. And even the ribs, the prime rib or whatever, that you get the meat, even if you get expensive meat, you could stretch it out by taking like one rib, and cutting it into little pieces. Then you can put it in your food and probably make 3 or 4 meals out of it if you wanted to. But you can also get cheap meat and cut it up thin, like the Asian stir fries. Vegetables have gone up, I've noticed, but not that much. So I've been eating a lot more vegetables, which is probably better for me. Just making all sorts of... Oh, my wife did something that I thought was interesting. I'd never thought to do it, but she was cooking the ribs, not prime rib, but ribeye steaks. She was cooking it inside the toaster oven, and she put all the vegetables in there with it, like alongside it, on top of it. So we had like what you would call a stir fry, but it wasn't a stir fry. It was like a bake fry, and it actually tasted really good. All the steak juices and stuff got coated into the meat. Into the vegetables. So like she stuck stuff in there that I didn't think she would stick. I don't know if she stuck like I don't know if she put like my salad stuff, like spinach and stuff. I normally will put stuff like tomatoes and onions, cut them into little rings and put them in there. But I had never thought to put stuff like, what are those round things that look like miniature cabbages? Those things that I went crazy about. They look like miniature cabbages and they're round. She stuck that stuff in there. She chopped up some zucchini. No, not zucchini. Zucchini? No, eggplant. Chinese eggplant, and I think she might have even stuck the regular salad stuff like lettuce, and I think she did that, and spinach leaves and stuff. And of course she had onions and tomatoes. But yeah, you bake all that together. So several things happen when you do that. One, everything becomes really tasty and tastes like steak. So your tomatoes and all that, and your onions are mixed with steak juices, so it's very good. The second thing you do is you save money. You save money because you're only having to cook once. You use the heat, to cook the steak and the other food all at the same time. So that cut the expenditure of cooking. Instead of frying it separately, it's cooked all at once. So it tastes better and saves money. So that might be another strategy, is when you're making food, make it all at once. Instead of making multiple pans or pots and stuff of different things, see what you can cook together. Stuff like if you're baking in the toaster oven, making the stir-fry vegetables without really stir-frying it. I would call it vegetable stir-fry because that's what it really essentially was, but it wasn't stir-fried, it was baked with the steak, and it tasted awesome. So that's something I'll do again because it just tasted so great, and it saves money. And it also saves time. I mean, it's like you bake that stuff and you don't have to, you just have to watch the time and check on it, but you don't have to sit there and stir it and stand over it, So it's a time saver. Now, if I had a toaster oven that was working fully, that had a timer that was shut off, that'd be even better. Right now, we have to just, set it and kind of keep an eye on the clock and come back and check it every so often. But normal toaster ovens, they have a little, you spin the timer and it spins, and you can just set the food and let it cook. Now, also been eating croissants. If you've never had the Pillsbury croissants, they come in I don't know if it's red and blue, but it's a container, they give you the dough, and you just take it apart and you put it in the toaster oven. That thing cooks in about 10 minutes or less, and it's delicious. It's like croissants when you bake them yourself, even though we didn't make the dough, bought the dough. It's delicious. It's like really soft and fluffy and has a lot of flavor. We had tried the Walmart one, the Great Value one, but my wife says it doesn't taste good. I tried it, and I think she's right. The Pillsbury one tastes better for some reason. I guess, they must use different amounts of sugar or salt or something. But the Pillsbury one definitely tastes better than the Walmart brand, the Great Value. But it's kind of expensive. I think it was like $2 for the croissants. $2 or $3. No, I bought a pack of 2 of them. So I think it was 2 of them for $3. Maybe $4. Can't remember. So I thought they were kind of expensive, but then I guess if you buy croissants, they're more expensive than $2 for a pack. And I think one of those canisters makes like 8 or 10 of them. So a little bit cheaper to make it yourself, and it tastes better, and it's fresh. I had thought of making cookies too, even though I don't eat cookies. Ended up not buying the cookies just because I don't eat cookies. The diabetes thing. So I'm trying to avoid, even though it looked, I was like, man, it would be nice to bake chocolate chip cookies, and have it fresh out of the oven, nice and soft. And the thing about it is, it was cheaper than if you buy the pre-made cookies. That was the thing. I was looking at prices, because I was like, how can you save money when the price of everything is rising? Well, the way to save money when the price of everything is rising is to switch what you can switch, which is how you eat and what you eat. So if you buy pre-made cookies, look into baking them yourself. Now, of course, you're going to have energy usage, when you bake your oven. But if you have a toaster oven, it only takes a few minutes. It cooks much faster than a regular oven. And I think energy-wise, we'll see when my bill comes. I think energy-wise, it's cheaper. So baking your own cookies, baking your own croissants, you get the added benefit of better tasting food, fresh out of the oven while it's still soft. and just you can smell the aroma, and it's just so much better. It's like I'll have a hard time buying pre-made croissants now. After baking it ourselves, I was like, you know what? This is something we're going to do a lot. Because when you bake it, the smell goes throughout your whole house. So it smells really good. And then when you get it right out of the oven, it is fresh out of the oven and hot and soft. It's not like the store-bought ones in a bag. Theirs is kind of dry. I guess you could put it into the oven, to freshen it up, and it might make it better. But why do that when you can bake it fresh from dough? And save money. That's the key. You can save maybe 50 cents, maybe $1, maybe $1.50. And the other thing I've been doing a lot, I was doing you guys saw me buy like the apples and the pears and stuff like that. So I bought all that stuff because I've been trying to eat better snacks. So I've been buying less, potato chips and stuff. I haven't really bought potato chips because they're expensive. It's like $4 for a bag now, $3 or $4. For $2.50 to $3, I can buy a bag of apples or something. Oranges, apples. So I've been switching more to fruits. I've been eating a lot more fruits. And what I find that makes it better for me, at least, as an adult versus a kid, I like to cut it up. I get my apples and I cut them up into slices or wedges. And then I eat them. And I eat 1 or 2 apples as a snack. And I find that it's filling. And to me now, I'm thinking I like it better than chips. I guess if you want chips, you could dry it out. You can get a dehydrator and dry that. So an easy way to save money is food, to offset the gas prices, because you can't really control the gas price other than going electric or hybrid. But the price of those vehicles is so expensive. Another thing I was thinking of is getting those trikes, those little motorcycle bikes, but the kind that look like a car, where they have 2 wheels up front and 1 in the back. I think they get halfway decent gas mileage, because essentially they're a motorcycle, but it's got 2 wheels up front and 2 people sit side by side, and it's got 1 wheel in the back, and it looks like a car, but it's smaller than a car, and it's basically a motorcycle. I think it's classified as a motorcycle. I don't know how much they are new, but I think they're cheaper than a car. And I suspect gas usage is low, because I know a motorcycle can get really good gas mileage. I had, when I had a girlfriend in Port St. Lucie, I used to ride around in that moped, and the moped gets like 100 to 150 miles per gallon. So going motorcycle, although there's a safety issue with mopeds and motorcycles, and even the little trike thingies. If you get hit, you're pretty much screwed. You get hit by a car. So, those are things to consider as alternative transportation. If you're in a city that has access to subways and whatnot, although with the whole COVID thing, that carries its own risk. But recently, at least in Florida, they've mandated, I think even on a federal level, they've released or reduced the mandates for masking and stuff. So things are starting to return to somewhat normalcy. Like even my job, you're not required to wear a mask anymore if you're vaccinated. I think even if you're not vaccinated, I don't think they require it anymore. But I still wear it, because they say this area is in low to moderate risk. I'm like, well, why don't you wait till it gets really low? I guess the political pressure, the pressure of mandates and stuff, and people really getting angry over it. They're allowing people to do that. I guess also because they say they've hit 75% vaccination, which I'm like, really? You should be hitting like 100%. I don't know what the vaccination rate is for smallpox, but really, if the vaccination rate required for smallpox is higher than it is for COVID, there's a problem, you know. But I still wear my mask when I go out in public. I still wear it at work, even though it's not mandated. They say you can wear it, I'm going to wear it. And, you know, but I still go out to eat and do stuff like normal, and I wear it there too, even though all around me people aren't wearing it. And then people say, well, Denoy, if you go out to eat at a restaurant and you take off your mask, what's the point? I know, we're all breathing the same air. The point is, hopefully, in my little cubicle, okay, I'm not sitting next to someone who has COVID. But even if they did have COVID, I've been vaccinated. So hopefully that gives me additional protection. The idea is just to take any precautions you can, but try not to worry too much about it. Try not to let it affect you too much. But as far as eating out, now that the price of gasoline to go eat out is so high, even though they raised the price of food when you go out to eat, so that was already more expensive. But now driving there to eat is way more expensive. It really makes it so you might want to rethink eating out, you know, unless it's en route, like you're going somewhere to pick up your kid. We might eat out because I'm picking up the kid, and it's, you know, near a restaurant or something we like. So I save on the gas in that because I'm there anyways. Now the food price has gone up. You can't really do anything about eating out food prices. That's just something you deal with. But you can deal with it at home by eating in. And like I said, the cost of eating in, man, when you think that a McDonald's burger meal, you could have yourself a nice ribeye steak. Just think about that. And that's with the price gone up on the ribeye steak, because they also raised the price of the McDonald's burger, you know. So think like that, and you can continue to eat well, maybe even eat better, and survive this crisis. Make sure you post in the comments. I appreciate all the chats, all the people posting about their situations. You know, I think it's always good to see how people are dealing with their situation on their end. If you're seeing this video after it's aired, go ahead and put your comments about what prices are in your area and what you are doing to cope with the rising prices of everything from fuel to food. Okay, how are you coping with it? Because I think knowledge is power. When we share our ideas on how we deal with things, hopefully life improves for everyone. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I do appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all for the thumbs up on the video. Thank you for tuning in and for making the comments. It is helping the channel to rise back up. We're moving back up on YouTube. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. I hope you stay safe. And for the people of Ukraine, you are always in my thoughts and prayers. For the Russians who are protesting their government, you are in my thoughts as well. For the Russian government, I think you are doing something very bad for your whole country. You're actually weakening your position as a world power. But you know, they won't listen to me. They don't even listen to the presidents. They don't even listen to the United Nations. So me on my little YouTube channel, I doubt they'll listen to that. But I think they're making a grave mistake. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Stay safe. And remember that life is precious. Enjoy the moment, even if it has some challenges. Enjoy your moment. You're still alive. And if you have your health, you're still healthy. And if you're not healthy, I hope you get better. You know, try not to stress out too much about things you can't deal with, that you can't do anything about. But the things you can change, like the foods you eat and how you interact with people, you know, try to be kind to one another, I guess is what I'm saying. I still see people boiling, you know, and calling everybody Karens and all that because of the COVID situation and now the world situation. Everybody's overstressed. But if you take a moment to just be kind to somebody, you know, even if you don't feel like it, be kind. At least that will counter all the negativity and sadness and craziness. God bless you all. Stay safe. Take care now. Goodbye.